The Galactic Council had ruled the Orion Arm for 12,000 cycles, their wisdom unchallenged, their decisions absolute. They had overseen the uplift of 17 species, arbitrated 1,000 wars, and maintained peace across 200 star systems. But they had never encountered anything like the human child they found drifting in the wreckage near Epsilon Station. The boy was perhaps 5 standard years old, unconscious in a failing life pod among the debris of what appeared to be a human colony ship. No identification, no records, no family. Just another casualty of humanity's reckless expansion into the void. The Council's rescue teams brought him to their medical facilities on Zenith Prime, where he would be processed, cataloged, and eventually adopted into one of the lesser species' social programs. It was the eyes that should have warned them. Golden, like molten starlight, with pupils that seemed to hold depths no human should possess. The medical staff noted it in their reports as a genetic anomaly, perhaps a mutation from radiation exposure. The Council dismissed it entirely. Humans were a young species, barely 3 centuries into space travel, prone to genetic diversity and unpredictable variations. The golden eyes were curiosity, nothing more. They named him Marcus and placed him in the Council's own educational facility, a demonstration of their benevolence toward lesser species. He grew up among the children of diplomats and administrators, the elite of 100 worlds. He was quiet, unremarkable, always watching with those strange golden eyes. But Marcus learned. He learned languages the way others breathe, effortlessly, instinctively. By age 10, he spoke 73 dialects fluently. By 15, he had mastered every major form of combat taught in the Council's military academies, though he had never been formally trained. His teachers called him gifted. His peers called him unsettling. The Council noticed when he was 17 and solved the Vorith paradox, a mathematical proof that had stumped the greatest minds in the galaxy for 2 millennia. He did it in an afternoon, sketching equations on a datapad during lunch. When asked to explain his process, Marcus simply said it was obvious. That was when Counselor Sean, oldest of the Council and keeper of the Forbidden Archives, began to suspect the truth. She accessed records that had been sealed for 10,000 cycles, histories deliberately forgotten, legends relegated to myth. The old text spoke of the precursors, the first civilization, beings who had seeded the galaxy with life before vanishing into time. They had been tall, bipedal, adaptable, much like humans, and their eyes, according to every surviving account, had burned like captured suns. Golden eyes. Zhon brought her findings to the High Council in secret. Genetic testing confirmed what she feared. Marcus carried markers that matched no human baseline, but aligned perfectly with precursor DNA fragments recovered from ancient ruins. He wasn't human, or rather, he was more than human. Somewhere in Earth's chaotic genetic history, the precursor bloodline had survived, hidden, waiting to resurface. The implications were catastrophic. The precursors hadn't vanished. They had seeded themselves among the younger races, insurance against extinction. And if Marcus carried their blood, there might be others among humanity. The species they had dismissed as reckless children could be the descendants of the galaxy's first rulers. By the time the Council moved to contain Marcus, it was already too late. He had anticipated them. Of course he had. The precursors had built the ancient relays, created the foundation of jumpgate technology, established the very systems the Council now used to maintain control. Marcus had spent his entire life in the heart of galactic civilization, learning every secret, mapping every weakness. When the Council's enforcers arrived at his quarters, they found only a message on his datapad, written in a language dead for millennia, but still stored in the archives. Thank you for the education. Humanity will remember your hospitality when we remember all the rest. Marcus was gone, disappeared into the vastness of space. And somewhere out there, he was returning to Earth, carrying knowledge the Council had hoarded for 12,000 cycles. Knowledge that would elevate humanity from ambitious newcomers to something the galaxy had forgotten how to fear. The Council had raised a precursor's heir in their own halls, taught him everything they knew, and never realized their mistake until his golden eyes looked back from every surveillance screen in Council space, watching them the way they had once watched him. The age of the Council was ending. The age of humanity was about to begin.